What's up, guys? This is Jeremiah from Jamfactor5 again. I know I've been off lately ever since I said I'm back in action. It's been a busy week, not to mention work has been a handful these days, and also allergies can also slow you down sometimes. So, yeah. I promise I will be a lot more organized, and I think I managed to find a way. So, the schedule is going to be the same, but I am planning to upload every single video on Sundays and Sundays alone. That way I don't have to worry about uploading them basically every day, and I will be able to work on other projects without hindering the uploads. So here is the schedule for this week and onward. Mondays and Wednesdays will be Sonic CD, and Tuesdays and Thursdays will be Spider-Man PS4. Fridays will be Jam and Friends. I'll talk a little bit more about that. And Saturdays will be Super Smash Bros. World of Light. There will be live streaming events, and this time I'm moving it up a little bit more. Not only by the hours, but also the time frame. Instead of a casual 2 hours, they will be 3 hours long. This means I will be live streaming more hours, and it will be per weeks on certain days. They'll be up around 6 p.m. to 9 Pacific time. If you don't know what time frame that would be on your region, well, I suggest you look it up yourself. So here it is. The games that we're going to be live streaming. Tuesday, I am finally going to be able to finish up Yoshi's Crafted World. No more hindrance, no more uh, change of plans. I am planning to finish it, and then it will be completely move on to Team Sonic Racing Adventure Mode. Wednesday will be Metroid Prime. I'm planning to continue on with that game since I have a lot of fun with it, and I just need to know where to go next. So, yeah. Fridays will be Multiplayer Mayhem. This is going to be a little bit different. Instead of just one game per day, I am decided to do like weekends. So here's the thing. Whoever has the most votes for this week will be playing it for to this week. Next week will be the game that went for second place, and third place, well, you get the idea. So here are the choices. Mario Tennis Aces, Team Sonic Racing Online, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's probably going to get a lot of votes, but here we go. Now remember, this poll will end on Friday. So once that day comes, it's closed. No more votes, no more alterations. If the poll is going to be tampered, I will know. And I will find you. I'm just playing with you. But seriously, don't mess with the votes after Friday. Now, with that out of the way, let's all enjoy the video of the Sonic CD review. So, this is Jeremiah from Jamfrog35 saying stay jamtastic and have yourself a really good time. Enjoy the show.
Let's see if I got this right. You are from an alternate timeline where this whole calamity happens in the near future because of something I did in the present.
That's about right.
Even if that is true, why should I believe you?
Yes then, no. I'm Jamfrog 2099. I am from an alternative universal timeline where the calamity began. I'm the main leader of the remaining branch community.
Branch.
That's what we are. Our main mission is to search out and seek out any viruses that caused the Great Calamity. I've been trying to stop this virus for years to come.
Wow! So close to get that trophy!
You.
Wait!
Whoa. Come on, man, flatten down. This is just one week. It's your friend one.
Friend?
Yeah, I trust you. You can trust me too.
Just to be sure.
I wasn't expecting you to help me.
Oh, worry?
Oh, seems like you're in the clear. For now.
You were discussing about a virus. Do you know what caused this virus to happen?
Not what. Who? This man has been infected in many, many multiverses. He goes by a name that's been known by many, many worlds. Glitch. You heard of him?
Heard of him? Dude, he's been terrorizing me ever since I did a review on Five Nights at Wario's. In fact, he even forced me to play Sonic and the Secret Rings.
He was here?
Oh, no worries, Waluigi. He was never here. He just called me on the phone recently. In fact, he even appeared on the TV screen. Don't know how he is able to do that, though. That is entirely new to me.
Well, at least you're. At least he didn't do any damage to this world. Are you planning to do a review?
Yeah, I was actually planning to do a review on Sonic CD.
Sonic CD, huh?
Yeah, on my phone.
On that thing?
What do you mean?
No offense. But you do realize that the game is playable on the console, right?
You mean the PS2 version?
Oh no. Well, yes, but I'm referring to the PlayStation 3 and Xbox One.
Oh yeah, I heard about the game on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox One, but no thanks. I prefer Christian Whitehead's work. It's perfectly fine.
Actually, Christian Whitehead ported it to the PS3 and Xbox One.
Wait. What?
Yeah, I got this on the computer. Here, I have proof.
Let me see that. Oh. Well. That's embarrassing. Looks like I have to extend the review even further. Man, I don't like delaying my stuff.
Actually, you don't have to. Normally I use this remote to fast forward dialogues, long meetings, yeah. But for a special case like this. Alright, just sit right there and we'll begin the playthrough.
Okay then.
Now remember to just relax and make sure you don't play the game longer than 1 hour.
Wait, what happens if...
Good luck.
Still don't trust you.
Sega is quick on their feet. Perhaps a little bit too quick.
Before the Dreamcast, Sega was making new hardwares left and right for the Sega Genesis. There was the 32X, there was the lock-on technology, there was even these wireless controllers. But the one and famous ones, or infamous ones, whatever you want to decide, is none other than the one and only Sega CD. It was something alright, created not only as a CD player, but also enhances both the graphics and the blast processing, and more importantly, trying to compete against Nintendo's Super NES. It was released in 1991, but it was sadly discontinued at the year 1996 with not much success. Man, 5 years. That's rough. However, before they ended to work on the Sega Saturn, they did one last hurrah with Sonic in the form of Sonic CD. Now, if you remember the review on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I didn't talk much about Yuji Naka's work on Sonic CD. That's mainly because he didn't work on Sonic CD. In fact, he left Sega of Japan before Sonic CD's development because of some disagreement, but he eventually came back to Sonic Team after working with Sega Technical Institute, or what I want to call them SDI for short. No, the true mastermind behind this game was none other than Nato Oshima. And sure, this is not the first time Yuji Naka had to leave the team. In fact, the second time was when Sega was developing Sonic 06. But we don't want to bring up that dead horse. In truth, I never played this game as far as I can remember, but I did hear some people who played it and saying that it was an interesting game to say the least, including the fact that it was the best seller of all time, making 1.5 million copies sold, for CD standard that is. Personally, I want to play on my PS3 or my Switch whenever they do the Sega Ages for the Sonic CD. Instead, what I decided to do, my phone. But since my big bro McMathahama showed me this special app called the AZ Screen Recorder, I decided to give it a test run to see if I can do some recordings on my phone. It works, but I want to have better sound quality, so I decided to use my go-to headset for the now PS4 gameplay headset, and it works perfectly fine. This is the very first game that Taxman made to port on the iOS phones, and oh boy, it's a good one. Of course, I wish I could do something with the ads, but what can you do? Well, other than paying for it to get the game instead of, well, you know, not having any ads on it. But apparently, I did my research wrong. Not only they ported it for the iOS, but they also ported the game to the Xbox One and the PS3. Yeah, Taxman version of Sonic CD was ported to the PS3 and Xbox One, which begins to boggle my mind as of if you can port Sonic CD, Taxman's version of Sonic CD, may I add. Why can't they decide to port Taxman's other projects like Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and Sonic the Hedgehog 2? You know, Sega's thinking kind of confuses me sometimes. After beating Eggman so many times, Sonic decided to go sightseeing at Never Lake, where he would catch a glimpse of a tiny world that appears 1 month per year, a planet called Little Planet. As Sonic got there, he noticed the once beautiful world is chained and imprisoned by the metallic shell, obviously by the Doctor because he carved his own face into a mountain. Egotistical much? Thank you and good night. The reason why Eggman is holding the planet in chains is because he's searching for the planet's mythical gem called the Time Stones. Stones that are able to control over time itself. Huh. Feels kind of familiar for some reason. I just can't put my finger on it. Not wanting the Eggman to win, Sonic ventures to Little Planet and must find a way to stop the evil Doctor's plans. However, along the way, we gotta introduce ourselves with Sonic's friend number 2, Amy Rose. Yep, that is what Amy Rose used to look like. Well, for some reason, they kinda have a bit of a mix-up. You see, in the English language manual of Sonic the Hedgehog CD, they mistaken Amy's name by calling her Princess Ellie. And then in Sonic Riders, she was renamed into Rose the Rascal. It wasn't until they decided to call her Amy Rose later around Sonic Adventures. This was her first time meeting our hero, and like true love's first sight, Amy fell in love with Sonic. Though Sonic does not feel the same way, and tried to lose her instantly until she was kidnapped by Eggman's greatest creation and Sonic's mechanical doppelganger, Metal Sonic. Yeah, not Amy's best first appearance, but she gets better later on, despite there is a slight creeper factor stage ever since Sonic Heroes.
That's no good.
So not only Sonic has to save Amy, but also finds a way to make a good future, stopping Eggman's plans and saving the world from disaster. If you have played any 2D Sonic game, or even seen my review on Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, you know the story. The levels use speed and momentum platforming. You duck and roll or charge a spin dash to build up speed and use rings to give you extra life or extra protection. Monsters are scattered around to help you, yada. However, there's this 2 new mechanics to the game. The first one I want to discuss is the Super Peon. Unlike the spin dash, the peon reaches to Sonic's maximum speed in an instant, which is easier to travel forwards or backwards in time. But it can leave you wide open to get hit by enemies if not careful. Strange thing is that in the original Sonic CD, Sonic's spin dash is kind of gimp, not allowing you to mash the jump button to charge up the spin dash. In fact, you can't even let go of the spin dash when you're charging it up. You have to wait until the screen fully goes to the right. But if you are playing the iOS or Android or PS3 or Xbox version, you can change it to Sonic's 2 spin dash. It's pretty much the best one in my opinion. I honestly barely use the peel out, and when I do use it, it's when I can make much more speed to travel in time. I mean, it's not a bad ability, but nothing beats the spin dash. Speaking of time, that's the other gimmick. There are 2 time posts which allows you to travel forwards or backwards in time, depending on which sign you pick. The catch is, however, is the speed part. Like in all Back to the Future movies, you must reach to a certain amount of speed, and once you do, you will be able to whoosh into the past, the future, or back to the present. But here's where the challenge is all about, the momentum. Sure, Palm Tree Panic is easy, but levels like Collision, Chaos, or Wacky Workbench, that's where I noticed some of the issues. The level layout, while huge, does not give you enough space to run at certain speed and to travel in time. And even if I was lucky enough, I could find 2 different springs and bounce them back one another until, I would have enough speed to go backwards or forwards in time. I can still find creative ways to travel in time, and even so, it comes down to another problem though. Halting momentum. By any chance you nearly reach enough speed, but was halted because the momentum you build suddenly disappeared all of a sudden, or you collide into a wall or a panic, that chance to go back to the past or future is thrown out the window, and you must find a new one to do it all over again. Thankfully, you can backtrack in this game, and that is a plus for me. It felt bigger than Sonic 1 or 2 combined. Though, you must make sure you don't reach the sign that says go. Once you do, the game won't let you backtrack as it forces you to complete the level, whether you like it or not. One thing you can do if this ever happens is to reset the stage and do it all over again. But don't think this is broken, because if by any chance you decide to do this, you'll lose a life. On the iOS and Android version, that is. On the console version, you must exit and retry everything all over again, and in the original, you must start from the very first act in the zone. No joke. If you felt lost, don't worry. The Bannecs will be there to help you. Every time you destroy a Bannock, they leave out a flower for you to remember you have explored the area before or you have been there before. It helps a lot whenever I try to find those teleporters or feel like I went through a loop. We'll talk more about the teleporters later. Let's start off with the music, which for both versions are really good and they're right. Sonic Boom is by far the most catchiest tune of all time, but Choo-Choo Sonic Wara sounds just as good. Energy vibe pumping your veins, ignorance glow blazing fast. And the boss music. Oh, it gives me chills when listening to the American version, while in the Japanese version it sounds a little bit more goofy than menacing. And when I said other versions, I mean the American and Japanese soundtracks. For some reason, Sega decided to make two separate soundtracks. I think it's because of copyright reasons, or they thought they could make things age better. But in my opinion, I think the Japanese version has at least slightly better songs. It just fits the game more. Though I won't lie, some of the songs in the American soundtrack has some that fits in the game too. Perhaps more than the Japanese soundtrack. Now, I enjoyed the gimmick idea of time travel. I guess you could say I am a sucker for time traveling based stories, but in a video game, this just feels natural here. For example, you start off in the present timeline. You know the environment lay around, Eggman's forces begin their work, and nature and technology are mashing together, fighting against each other in fact. But when you travel to the past, Eggman started off his work, but the environment is different. The level layout is different. The obstacles will be different. The enemies' placements will be different. But when you go to the future, depending on the situation, you can now right to dark and gritty and nature is just dead and technology is replaced and the obstacles get harder and harder in the bad future, while in the good future, everything is at peace. Everything is natural. Everything is just easy. In fact, it makes the bosses much more easier than the bad future counterpart. Speaking of bosses, that's another thing I like about this game. Like I said in Sonic the Hedgehog 2's review, Eggman's bosses in Sonic 1 and 2 were a bit more of a hit or miss. They're fine, but it comes down to just run left and right, hit Eggman's cockpit at the right moment, and done. Well, except for a few of them, like Rabbitson, which is more of chasing him than fighting him. Does it really count as a boss? Anyways, Sonic CD on the other hand tries out new ideas that makes the bosses a bit more interesting and comes around with Sonic's abilities. Sure, the first one is so easy, and Collision Chaos is my least favorite boss. In fact, I think it's the least favorite boss for everyone, but it brings more unique twists and turns. Even go length as testing your skills. For example, in Quartz Quadrant boss, you're riding on a treadmill, which there are no ways to hurt Eggman. The only thing you can do is burn, well, Eggman's metal. But there are two hazards along the way. the spike wall so you can't stop, and those bombs which you can't keep on running and ignoring them. Eventually you have to like jump out of the way and keep on running and making that treadmill going running and running and running and running. Sure, the other two are testing your skills, but it's all the same. While CD is more unique, using your speed and knowledge of layout itself in its own way. And let's not forget the most highly anticipated boss of all time, Metal Sonic. No, not that one. That's Silver Sonic. Mecha Sonic. Okay, I know you're doing this on purpose. Thank you. This boss is such magnificent. You're not fighting against Metal Sonic, but you're racing against him, while at the same time trying to avoid Eggman's laser, which instantly kills you. You can't slow down, but you have to speed up, but you also have to avoid Metal Sonic's attack. It's like a big deadly race that you have to run for your life. Man, you've been playing through it a few times, and even though it kind of like beat me a few times, I just find it so engaging. The only downside I notice in the bosses are they are just very short. Kind of a shame, at least for me. I wouldn't mind like a phase 2, but well. Well, I wish Sega would do bosses like this in the future. Oh wait, they did it in Sonic 3 and Knuckles as well as Sonic Mania. My two favorite games. Man, I love those games. I heard that they decided to make the level designs like this on purpose so they can make you feel the struggle of making a good future by whatever means. Rewards you with good level design by making a good future, which I can see that, but then we got levels like Collision Chaos, Wacky Workbench, and Attack Madness. Those core levels are the worst in my opinion. Collision Chaos, like the name suggested, is the chaotic version of Casino Night Zone with springs and bumpers that bounce you around, causing more headaches than one. Wacky Workbench is, no pun intended, wacky, as you'll be bouncing so high up you have to climb all the way down to progress, and sometimes you can find a way to travel to the past, but by the levels it makes it impossible to pull it off, unless you know what to do. Well, Metallic Madness, oh boy, that level is just the worst. Sure, Scrap Brain is insane due to cheap death possibilities due to death traps, and Metropolis with those cheap enemy placements and those slicers and Labyrinth Zone is just amazing, so when finding the best route that is. But Metallic Madness combines all those 3 or 4 issues into one. I never thought I'd despise this level the most, yet here we are. Every single spring will either send you further back or send you to the sky, or even send you to my greatest enemy, spikes. Those fans will go top to bottom depending on the timing, and the level itself felt more of a maze than a level. And don't get me started on Metallic Madness Zone 3. Sure, the boss is easy, but the level is cruel. Pistons that will kill you by crushing you, spikes everywhere, slow platforms that you must move out of the way to avoid being crushed, those platforms that twist on you when you least expect it, and just dying over bottomless pits. It earns its name alright. Look, don't take this the wrong idea. I think this game has some ideas that work for CD, the presentation, the music, the time traveling mechanic. It's genius. The true issue is how it was finalized. Sure, if I played it again and again, knowing what lays ahead of me, I might enjoy the game better. But the thing is, I played it the first time and I didn't like it the first time. Unlike Sonic 2, where I played the first time, and despite me dying a lot, I still enjoy it. No matter how many times I tried to play this game, no matter how many times I tried to time travel, I still managed to find those issues still visible. And even if I was able to pull it off, I had a hard time knowing where every single teleporter is at. I would have to use a guide once to find a certain one. And metallic madness. Maybe if they find a way to give us hints, like making wires that travels to the generator, or at least a way to hint us where to look at, it might make the game easier to find, but then again, it would ruin the sense of exploration, so how should I know? Just like Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, the Extras is just a good ending. However, unlike those two, which you have to do one certain way, there are two ways to get the good ending. Let's discuss with the first one, the teleporters. If you decide to do the long way by destroying the teleporters, you automatically get the good ending per zone, which not only makes things easier, but also makes the bosses easier than the bad future counterpart. Though the catch is you can't simply destroy a teleporter in the present timeline, or even the future. The only way to destroy the teleporters is by traveling back into the past and destroying it there. Sure, this will be long and tedious, but it gets the job done without any issues. Just make sure you destroy them before you reach past the goal sign or travel to the future or present timeline. Otherwise, you must restart the entire stage, do it all over again by wasting a life or just wasting time. If you don't like that extra hard work, there is the time stones. Now, to get the time stones, you have to collect 50 rings. Shut it, or I will shut it for you. Sorry. By collecting 50 rings, a warp ring appears at the end of the stage. You jump in and you're thrown into, well, a special stage. In the special stage, your goal is to destroy all the UFOs. And that's it. Once that's done, you get the time stone, and when you get all 7 of them, you automatically not only get the good ending, but also turn off certain hazards, like wacky warp benches, electric gates, for example. Man, if I got all those time stones, it would be much more easier. This is perfect. No more luck based or memorization, just you and a level to run around in. Now, if only I was playing the PS3 instead of my iOS or Android in this case, because oh boy, my fingers are way too big to play on the phone. It's not bad, it's just kind of hard to grasp, especially when you have water all over the place. One single step in it and it drains the timer. Sure, you can use the blue FOs to refill the timer, but then there's the issue of Sonic's turning, which I feel like it's a bit too wide sometimes, causing trouble more times than I had thought, especially when you have only 14 attempts to do it right. Only 14 out of 7. Or 7 out of 14. Anyways, that's what I like about this game. Options. You can go through the faster way by entering the special stage to get all the time stones, but it's a tad bit risky if you're not good at it. Or you could take the safer way and destroy all 14 teleporters, but it takes longer. You don't have to do it though if you don't want to, and that's fine. Well, except for Lupin's still in danger and the future has not changed. That's just the game trying to lure you to play it again. Better that, not such a big deal. Then there are these holograms, which once you destroy them, ammo creatures jump around in. They're not really important to the game, so I kinda skim over that. Then there are these time trials. These time trials basically measures up your skills and your speed of how fast you can be able to complete the level itself. And if you're able to complete the time trials under a certain minute, you unlock some small bits of extras, like the DA Garden or the visual mode, which is basically a cutscene player. You can even unlock the stage select and sound test. And if you insert the code into the sound test, you'll also see snippets of side art, which they all look fine and dandy as Kill it! Kill it with fire! Kill it! And if you're playing the 2011 version, you get something even better. Once you complete the game with the good ending, you automatically play as Sonic's two-tailed friend, Tails. He doesn't have the super peel out, but he has his fight capability from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And that's cool, especially when it makes things so much easier to explore in the level to, find the teleporters and such. Now this is what I want to see in every single extra. Not a simple pat on the back, you did a good job. No. You are rewarded with more things to do, more things to accomplish, more things to see, more things to do. And I love it. Sonic City, I feel like, hits all those shitty spots. Exploration, speed, and platforming. But even I must admit, just playing the game, while unique, it's also very weird and frustrating all at once. Perhaps they find a way to not have the momentum get halted on accident, or basically find another method of time travel like someone saying something similar like Sonic 2 with how to go to the special stages. Or perhaps do another punishment like paying the time post to travel back or forwards in time. Or maybe reaching a certain amount of speed of time travel when you hit the time post, like how Sonic Time Twisted did. Nothing too crazy, but nothing out of the ordinary. But is this game worth to get? Well, in my opinion, yes. However, I can see it's kind of hard to grasp due to the exclusive level design. I like a level that focuses on the core element, yes, but I also wanted to see a finalized level design that works with the core element too. Nothing too simplistic that makes the game easy like Sonic Forces did, but nothing too random that causes more issues with the core element itself like Sonic Lost World. If by any chance you have the PS3, Xbox One, iOS, or even an Android, give this a go. You won't be disappointed. Though if you have big fingers like me, I recommend the PS3 or Xbox One. If you want to get the original version, however, well, that's kind of tricky because one, even CDs are really hard to find and are really, really expensive, and two, if you got the game over, not only you have to start with the certain zone, but you also have to start the beginning of it, even if you destroy the teleporters. And yeah, it's that harsh.
Oh man, I feel so drained after that.
That's the usual side effect. If I fast forward any longer, you might probably be dead.
What do you have? Warn me, like a few minutes ago?
I said probably, not possibility.
Oh well, at least that's done. Hey, sis, you told me a lot about, excuse me. Since you helped me a lot, maybe you can help me. Maybe you can tell me a little bit more about Glitch.
I seriously don't have the time.
What do you mean you can't? You have plenty of time. You have a...
No, seriously. There's a vid calling around at a different sector. I really gotta go.
Wait. Wait, what a glitch! If he ever comes back, will he...
No worries about glitch. Just, make sure you don't do anything reckless like I would.
Fantastic! So, those are my thoughts. What about yours? Do you like the game? Or do you think you need to travel back in time to correct your mistakes? Place your comments down below. This is Jeremiah from Jamfrog35 saying stay fantastic and have yourself a really good time. Bye everyone, take care. Excelsior! At least you're here, pal. Still, really want to know who this glitch fellow was.
I wouldn't worry about it that much.